because then there was an undead attack. We were still in full gear for the undead attack where Macaroni came out. With Dwin screaming out the gate. So there's an undead attack. Herf and I are talking at the gate. And Dwin just walks by us with the thing over her head. And we're like, and we're going! Follow the crone doing the crone. It's really funny. There's the one with her coming out of the gate with it over her head. And this is the only time that I actually took damage in a fight. And at one point I was like, uh-oh, did I miscount my hits? Like, should I have taken a mortal wound? No, in that picture, it does in fact confirm I was wearing my helmet, because you can see me behind her. Absolute insanity. This whole game was just absolute insanity. Fight after fight after fight. We managed to disperse the little undead using the idol.
Macaroni, just like,
yeah.
Go away.
Kind of. It was a lot more than that, but...
Essentially, Makila's picture of her shoving it in the dude's face.
Pretty much, yeah. She got real in their personal space. And then we moved on to the big one, and we had him, like, down. And then at some point he just gets back up and takes his giant blade and swipes it across both my legs.
Oh.
And I'm like, my tacits don't count for armor. Down I go.
Do they really not?
They don't cover.
Oh, shame.
But I had one armor point each
because
of my helmet.
Yeah. He does 2 damage.
Yeah. So I was down.
But you didn't get it didn't carry over though because of the mortal wound. Okay, yeah, it didn't carry over because of the mortal wound. Okay, yeah. Yeah,
because it doesn't move through. If he'd struck me again, I'd have taken a mortal wound.
I'm not following. I'm just
so I'm down on the field, and the Riveneer is the one who picks me up and takes me to a bone knitter. Which was fun. Yeah.
That was nice. That was great. What was I doing at that time? I think I was definitely part of the undead attack. I'm pretty sure it was. I don't remember if that was the one where Clav and that other Vatican chick got compelled or whatever. I think I was later in the day.
I think so too.
Yeah. Like I didn't really have a lot. I didn't really have a lot of small moments, really. I'll get to my story during the whole thing, but I was there for a lot of big moments in the background. But yeah, I don't remember that undead fight too much. I was there doing stuff probably. I took a mortal wound.
Possibly, yeah.
You know what? I think
back and we finished food.
Yeah, and then you go back and finish food.
Finally, 3 hours after we initially had a pancake.
And then lunch was served a little bit later.
Yeah, and it didn't get uninterrupted either.
Yeah, it was that stuff. I think that's when the Treaty of the Bears and the Hounds happened. Was after that undead attack. So this was something that a couple of Hadrian players, a bunch of Riveland players were doing. Since because of last year, doing the failed duel between Matthew and Theseus, the Rivelands and the Hadrians are back at war again. This is the second war. And it was less of a treaty and more like the Geneva Convention. Or Geneva Suggestions. That's what it turned into. And I was quote unquote commissioned to write the stuff. I don't think I ever showed you with it at all.
Mm-mm.
It was so Matthew wanted something big.
Of course he did.
And it was about like that tall parchment. It was that tall parchment, and overall, it actually ended up being three different pieces of paper because there was an addendum after an addendum. I think I took a few pictures. I have to show it, but it was basically like rules of engagement, right? And the Hadrians had come up. I saw they were going up there, and I guess I should preface this. I did not do any quests whatsoever. I did nothing official whatsoever. The name, the third company, which was the entire event, was supposed to be about us finding stuff about them. Never heard it named once.
Right.
Apparently they did turn up at one point early on because the arbiters were supposed.
They were physically there.
Yeah. So the ritual example that they were gonna do that we didn't go to because we were busy doing other things.
I didn't know.
Getting ready for game.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. So the arbiters were like, "Oh, we're gonna do an example on top of the hill later," that none of us went to. Apparently, the third company was supposed to interrupt that, and a bunch of ads found out that they were going to interrupt it, and they were like, no. No. Aggressively, no.
But also...
So they just, like, killed all the members of the third company.
Another day.
Sick.
That's perfect. They had nothing to do. They got there and died. That's why we didn't see them the whole time. The ads killed them.
That's so funny. It's like, that was like the main story, and you're like, nah, we're just gonna cut you guys out right here.
I enjoyed doing... So, the whole point of me bringing that up was I didn't do anything with the story. I enjoyed it. I had so much fun. The entire game, I was Matthew's deck collector, keeping him alive, and I sold maps. Those are my two things that I did. And so, every chance I got, I sold maps.
I heard so many stories of you just going up, like, people were battling, you're just like, by the way, you need a map?
You want to buy a map? Want to buy a map?
map?
There'd be a serious discussion, like, in the bazaar or, like, in, like, the camps. You want to buy a map? Like, so that wraps all back around. When the Hadrians and Wyverns were at their front gate doing the treaty, there I was, selling maps. I just went up, hey, you want to buy a map? You want to buy a map to the Wyverns and the Hadrians, doing both at the same time?
It's just a funny skit. Like, in my head, like, it's just...
Because no one's expecting, it's a serious, tense situation, and this Griff like, hello! Would you like to buy a map?
That'll be your button. Want to buy a map?
Want to buy a map?
Yeah.
And then I did that doing the rituals, I did that doing the Voldsum attack with the Wyverns, that I was participated in fighting against the Wyverns. I did so many different situations. It was so much fun. But
I remember part of the reason why it took me so long to eat my breakfast that day. We got interrupted with the fight, and then also I was trying to make potions because I kept getting interrupted before I could go make potions, and I was getting really annoyed about it, and I was like, all right, nobody bother me until I've made these stupid potions. So I just bulk made 4 reses and 2 nullifies.
Did I get one of those? No. I got it from...
They went to the crones.
Was it the Winfair couple that was the one that was giving out potions to everybody? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got one of those, which actually turned out to be really handy later on. Yeah, so the Treaty of the Hound, the Bears and the Hounds, so I saw the Hadrians doing that. I was like, okay, perfect time to sell maps. I went up there, I was part of it, and I was just talking and hanging out with them, and then there was some sort of attack on the Hadrian camp. I think it was undead. And so pretty much all the Hadrians had to pause the stuff and then leave, except for Matthew. Matthew was technically on house arrest, and he needed and it was I couldn't quite understand the whole thing. I wasn't sure if he was on house arrest, but like I essentially kind of turned into the guard for him for some reason. He stayed behind to finish the treaty. The treaty. We went into the Wyvern camp, and it was really nice as I was there because I actually turned into the intermediary. I was the guy, and I was also essentially the notary as well, because I was literate and had all the paperwork, and they had some addendums they wanted to do, and guess me, I had paper. So I got them the paper. I helped sign it. I would give them supplies and stuff like that. I was also the only one with a weapon there. They took my sword, of course, but they didn't take my staff, and I felt like Gandalf walking into I forgot the name of it. Oh no!
Not Mordor.
No. Rohan. It's not Helm's Deep. It's crap. Theoden's building. I felt like that. I was walking with my staff. The treaty basically finished. They were just waiting for Magnus to to get there. Since he was the Praetor, he had to be the final signing. And so we saw him coming up, and it was basically time for me to leave, so I just left. But not before I went all around Wyvern Camp, went to every people's group that was there, and sold a whole bunch of maps. And then I left.
I think you're like the only person that anybody lets just wander around in.
Dude, it was so funny. I just went nowhere. And what was so funny, I was trying so hard to be waylaid so many different times. So I made a lot of money with that, and I never had more than 50 coins in my pocket at any one time, because I kept giving it away and doing a whole bunch of stuff and selling. I gave a whole bunch to Kitchen, but at one point I had a lot of change on me, and I was just counting coins in the front of Wyvern Camp, just doing counting coins. And this is actually important for later. I actually had a magic item that I don't know if I ever told you about.
I figured it out.
Yeah, it's the only reason I survived the Orc Camp.
I know.
It was I guess I could say it out since it's a bad game. It was a magic bracelet that I got because I helped an arbiter out of game before game even started deliver a message to the cabin house. Voltaire, one of the Wyverns, who is I don't know his entire, he's staff member, culturally or something like that. I don't know his exact job, but he was basically doing some paperwork in the center and said, "Hey, you want a magic item?" Heck yeah! And it was a bracelet that allowed me to poison somebody whenever I wanted, without poisoning myself. The only thing is I was weakened for 30 minutes. And so I was also showing that a lot as one of the magic items, trying to be waylaid. But no one did. But it was also a good feeling that no one messed with me. That I was just allowed to wander anywhere I want. I'll have to show this later, but I actually got a writ of passage from the Hadrians. I have a little flag that I can go into camp anywhere I want.
Very nice.
What was you doing on that time after that? Because that was after the whole thing.
Potion making.
Yeah, potion
and
making.
Trying to eat food. And then trying not to die after another attack.
There was a lot of attacks.
Yeah.
I honestly expected to get looted or interacted with the whole time, but I think because people recognized the kitchen crew, they just mostly just gave us head nods and we're like, all right. And I'm like, all right. I mean, this
Astrid
is cool.
did get hit on.
Yeah.
Astrid did get hit on.
Yeah, we're gonna put a bounty on the guy next year.
Yep. Yeah,
no bounty needed.
That
I'll
was
just go beat him up.
That was also out of game, I want to say, or game off. It was after 10.
Then I definitely want to attack him.
Yeah. I know that I'm upset about it. She's fine. She's like, no, you know, so things, and I'm like, nah. If I was there, nah.
This is a surprise tool for later.
What?
It's the Mickey Mouse meme. It's the surprise tool for later.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, please, what were you saying?
We were done.
Oh, okay. This was the Hadrian writ of passage.
Look, they don't believe in putting things on paper either.
Oh, wow. It actually looks pretty cool.
It's actually really
Good,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, it's it's pretty sure it's fake suede, but
Is it a 3-headed dog?
Yeah.
it's Cerberus, yeah. That's their symbol.
That's their, yeah.
That's what's up.
Actually, I'm gonna hang it up in the background. But so this is actually my second one, because I lost the first one during a battle. I looked for ages for it. I was looking around for it. I couldn't find it. But I'm very proud of it because now I can just go to Hadrian territory and sell maps. I'm great.
Yay.